Okay, hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nana and I am a South African YouTuber living in China. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for your loyalty and coming back. And if you are new here, welcome and don't forget to subscribe. So like the title of this video goes, I'm going to tell you guys about a time when I got dribbled by a Pedi guy. Hey, ngoba izinto ziyenzeka. Hey, hayi bandla kuphela ukuse emadodeni. When it comes to men, I feel like, when it comes to men, I feel like we all just get humbled. No matter how many degrees you have and how educated you are and how much money you make, they will show you your mother. But yeah, not all men, just my exes. Yeah, let me just say that, just my exes, because I don't want to generalize. I don't want to include other people's sons that have nothing to do with this. I'm not going to say men. Let me just say my exes, just because I haven't experienced all men. Anyway, let's get right into it. He DMs me, he's like asking, hey, how you doing, what's your name? Okay, obviously my name is there, like, how you doing, and all of that. But at the time, I think I was seeing someone and I was not entertaining it. I was just like, who's this guy, please? Anyway, fast forward, obviously I break up with this person and then I start talking to this guy. So he says that he stays in Stanger, right? He's a Pedi guy staying in Stanger. So he's got a job, I guess, in Stanger. So he's like, he wants to see me, he wants to link up, meet up or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I don't mind. So he comes through. This guy comes through. I think at the time I was still working as a media buyer. I was working in Mklang at the time. So I was living in Newlands East. So he came to Newlands East. He drove all the way from Stanger to Newlands East. Okay. And came through, he came with drinks, came with food, and he came with chocolates. I think like a box of chocolate. I don't like chocolate, but he thought I like chocolate. So we chilled, we drank, we started talking as a cool gent, a bit of a hard accent. I'm not judging him there. Pedi guys do have a bit of a strong accent, but he was not anyone that I would genuinely I didn't really see myself with him, but he was just a very cool guy, he's a very cool guy. Anyway, he stepped over. We got drunk from the drinks that he brought and I gave it up. Don't judge. Guys, please don't judge. Ngamnika ikeke same night. But it's whatever, we're grown up. I think at the time it was 2019. Yes, 2019, because I left South Africa in 2019. Anyway, the next day he was going to be around for the whole weekend. So the next day we wake up and he's like, he wants to go to Imlaz. He wants to go see his friends. He knows some friends there or whatever. Okay, we're like, okay, cool, vibe, let's go. So we go to Imlazi and we meet his friends. It's all cool and dandy, and we chill with these friends of his. They've got girlfriends at university. So at the time I was done with studies. I was not studying. I was full-time working. And they invited us to the res, one of the residences at UK residences. No, DUT residence. So we went to the residence. Hey guys, yabona indaba yokuthanda izinto. Hayi bandla. Saya ke res yase DUT nalomfana. Hey. You know when you get to a place and I just felt out of place. I've done my time of partying. I partied from 2014 until 2018. I worked 4 years up in them clubs as a hostess. And even though I do party, but chilled partying, like no, you know. So and just all over the place. I know, like he can see that no. Baby girl is not okay here. So anyway, we leave. Funny enough, like he's like, let's go. And when we go, we get to the car, and he's like, I could tell that you're very uncomfortable. Like, are you okay? I'm like, no. Like, I just didn't like that scene, that varsity weed and all of that. Like, not. I mean, I don't have a problem with weed. I've smoked weed, but just like the scene, I had been long past that time, that phase in my life. I was an old woman. I'm like, fucking approaching 30, and I can't be chilling with 21-year-olds smoking weed, you know. Anyway, we're not there, so we chill in the car, and I think that's when I just like started liking him, because like he left, we didn't really know where we were going, because we didn't want to go home because it was boring at home, but we just sat in the car and just started talking, you know. He's talking, and then he's like asking me like, do I have like someone I'm seeing, whatever, and I was like, no, whatever. So he's like, no, he'd like to start, you know, something, whatever. Anyway, I'm like, yeah, cool. You know, I liked him as well. So anyway, we go home, Babs again, but this time officially as a girlfriend. Anyway, the next day, which is a Sunday now, on a Sunday, he's like, he's going to go home. So before he goes home, he'd like to take me on like an official date. Okay. So we go to, where did we go? We went to this other nice place in we went to, where did we go? We went to some place in North Beach. I can't remember, but I remember that we had seafood. So we had seafood, drank a little bit. He didn't drink because he was supposed to drive back to Stangam, right? So guy so I'm up in the liquor, my love. Anyway, yeah, so okay, that date was like really nice. So he goes home, and then we continue talking. Continue talking. So now we had agreed that following weekend I would be the one visiting him, right? Since he stays in Stang, I stay in Durban, right? So I go and visit him, right? So I go and visit him, and when I get there, we cook together. Like we says we couple. I feel like, in all honesty, that was like the second like intentional relationship I was in, because before him I had been in a relationship with another guy, and the one I think I did a story time on him, maybe I'll redo it because I removed the video from my page. I even lived with him and his parents. Like, I think that was also like a really very serious relationship. So that was like one of the few real relationships that I was in, like intentional. Like someone is like, you know what? Yeah, you were my damn girlfriend, you know? Anyway, we cooked together, make food, and he liked gaming. He liked gaming, and I didn't mind the fact that he liked gaming. I actually liked watching him do his gaming shit. Fast forward, this sounds wrong, but yeah. Anyway, we sleep and then we have sex, obviously. But now, unfortunately, the condom breaks. TMI, I know, TMI, but extended Vuga, I'm really just someone who's very active in the testing of HIV part. I think my friends would actually even vouch for that. And I woke up, I was really worried. I was like, dude, we need to go testing. And it was a Sunday. And, you know, he started Googling places where we could go test. And we ended up finding, all places were closed, but we ended up finding like a pharmacy. And we went there. When we went there, we tested, and we were negative. And we went and got something to drink. And then we went back home. Now, before the testing, in the morning when I woke up, I skipped this part. This part is the important part. So, you know, when you're lying in bed with your mans and all of that, and you're on Instagram and you're on social media and you're watching people's stories, right? So he's going through people's stories. He's watching people's stories on his phone, you know, and he's not necessarily hiding the phone. As he goes to one of the stories and he goes out of the story. One thing about me, I'm a putuma, and if, as far as I can recall it, that is how I almost catch all my exes doing stupid shit. Because I've caught an ex cheating because ekhuluma nami kwi-video call, and then waswitch screen wangena kubhambule, ngiyibona ubhambule emehlweni escreen, ngiyabona ebukweni, so nje kumuntu nje ngiyabona omunye second time I caught the same guy cheating, ubhambule ngiyabona kwi-headboard, i-reflection iyabhambule ku-headboard, so nje emehla mayashesha. So mengithi nhla kwi-list yama-status kuno beautiful in a heart, right? And I'm like, who the fuck is beautiful? In my head, I'm like, who the hell is beautiful? Yabo? Let's pause this part here because I think I'm mixing up my scenes. But just let's hold this part in the morning where I saw beautiful, and let's hold the testing part. Yabo? See on pause, on both these scenes on pause. Let's go back to me before I came to Stanger to see this guy, because I am not familiar with taxis, long distance taxis. I don't take taxis all the time. Long distance, if I travel long distance, it's either I fly or most of the time I fly. But Stanger is right around the corner. So I go into Twitter. I'm asking, okay, guys, do you know where people take taxis for Stanger? He wouldn't know. He's a Pedi guy living in Stanger. He's never taken taxis to Stanger before from Durban. So I'm asking on Twitter because, I think my followers would know. I'm like, hey guys, do you know where you take taxis to Stanger? And I remember like this girl that I'm really cool with her. Like we really cool. I don't know her in person, but like we really like cool with each other. Like I consider her like a social media friend. And she goes, are you by any chance going to a Pedi guy? I kid you the fuck not. This girl literally just said, are you by any chance going to a Pedi nigga? So I'll name her Pink. Pink asked me, hey. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah. And she really doesn't say anything, and I get the sense that she knows him more. I get the sense that she knows him more than meets the eye. Like I saw that they're actually following each other, but like I saw that, okay, they actually know each other more than it, because how many Pedi guys are there in Stanger? Stanger is a Zulu culture area. How many Pedi niggas are in Stanger for a girl to just randomly be like, from her 24,000 followers, and when I say I'm going to Stanger, she's like, are you going to a Pedi nigga? And I'm really going to a Pedi nigga. I'm like, something is in the water, something is beating the water here. Anyway, I go, this is what I have on file already, that someone asked me about him. I go to Stanger. Okay, I see beautiful, and then because I didn't want to like have too many issues piling up, we had to test in the morning. When I saw the name beautiful, we already had like the condom issue breaking, and I wanted to go test, and now I see beautiful. I didn't want to pile up issues, like pile them up. I wanted to do with one issue at a time. So I just kept quiet, and I just let him deal with finding a place where we can go test. So he found the place, we go and test, and we're done testing, we're both negative, and we go buy some alcohol, we come back home, we start cooking for the evening and whatnot, and that, I don't do anything, I don't say anything, I just kept quiet to enjoy our time. Everything was good. I think my phone is, I've got people texting, and I'll answer them after I finished recording this video. So I don't want to like bother like I don't want to create like a very insecure environment, because I'm quite happy. To be quite honest, he made me happy, like he didn't give off I'm cheating or I have someone or all of that drive. He was just like, he was very attentive, he's a very nice guy. I wouldn't even lie, like I couldn't fault him in any way besides the fact that I saw beautiful, obviously beautiful, and the fact that, let me put my phone on silence, quite honest. So, and the fact that someone asked me if I'm going to see a Pedi nigga on Twitter, okay, which I know he saw because he follows me, ne? Hayi ke ebusuku ngiyabulika utshwala buthi tata buza ngolayini siyaphuza manje siyaphuza. And I'm just like, no, I need to ask this man about beautiful. You know, I need to ask this man about beautiful. I'm like, hey, so I just want to ask you something. He's like, yeah, sure, ask. Who's beautiful? No, who's beautiful? And that man did not even try to lie or hide anything or try to cover his nothing. He just went, she's my girlfriend. So today, I think I have respect for him actually being like, you know what, she's my girlfriend, you know, because I think as long as I didn't find out, he would have he would have played the scene of he would have played the part of being a boyfriend that has no one. But I found out and he was like, you know what, let me just like tell this girl that, hey, and I respect him for that. Like, so I respect the fact that that man was like, hey, yeah, dude, she's my girlfriend. And I'm like, oh, so what the fuck am I? And you know what this guy says? Yo, my exes, my exes, shame they come from hell. I think God just specifically was like, let me make you. What are you doing? Your job is to go to earth and mess with Nana. Off you go, champion. Your job is to go to earth and mess with Nana. Off you go, champion. Because he just went, you're my girlfriend. Excuse me. What did you guy? We don't be am now. I'm like, but you've got a girlfriend. It's like, yeah, you're both my girlfriends. I was drunk and I didn't want to like have an entire conversation with this man about this thing while I am intoxicated. So I just let it go and we decided to go out and party and, you know, had a fun night. I just put it back on my head and then, you know, and we came back and the next day I had to go home and I went home and we never really like addressed it, to be quite honest. I never really addressed it. We just left it with this hair. Now it's showing that it's actually hair for $50 because what is this? What is this? What is this? Anyway, never really addressed it. So now I'm gone, falling for this man. And this man has, you know. Anyway, I text Pink. Remember Pink who said, are you going to a Pedi nigga? Because this was also like one of the things that I wanted to ask him, but I didn't want to ask him before I actually speak to Pink, you know, because I felt like I was more friends with her than I am, because I've known the guy for a short while. I've known her for a long time on Twitter, né? So I sent a DM to Pink and I'm like, hey Pink, how you doing? I just want to find out like what's going on between like you and the Pedi Gent so and so, you know, because I'd also like seen like, you know, things, and I think I asked him about Pink and he was like, no, Pink is just a girl they met and he doesn't like her. Like he kind of dampened down Pink to me, you know, and I kind of didn't. I know men can sort of like do that, and I was like, Nana, the only way to get the truth is if I ask Pink, yabo. But now how it came out or how she perceived it is like I was like coming to her like woman to woman. I was coming to her like woman to woman, but like not in a sense that I was like, oh, this is my man, get away from my man. But I was like genuinely trying to find out like what are they doing? Like, are they in something so that I can know, you know? And yeah, but anyway, it came off as woman to, like, it wasn't woman to woman. It came out apparently like I'm fighting or something like that. But that's a story for another day. But I was not, I genuinely was not doing any of that. I respect that girl, love the girl. So anyway, we're still cool till today. Anyway, so fast forward, this man now tells me that no. So I see like things happening on Twitter between Pink and her, Pink and him. They're like, back, like she is in constant communication with him. Whenever she texts, she tweets like that, I'm gonna call this Pedi, I'm far gone for him or whatever, like she's texting. she's tweeting, would get a phone call and it would be her, right? And I'm like, dude, the fuck, you know? And he's like, so he kind of like mised her or whatever he said, like, I don't know. He said to me. So I said to him, you know what? It's either you choose me or her. It's either me or her. And at that time, guys, like, I already knew this man has a girlfriend. And I'm like making him choose between me. We are both side chicks here. And I'm making him choose between me and Pink. And I'm like, until then, don't contact me. This man like tries to come. He's like, dude, no. I don't want you to go anywhere. Like, I love you, bro. Like, don't fight like that. I'm gonna dump her. Like, I'm gonna dump her right now. I'm gonna call her and I'm gonna dump her. And like, guys, how it happened. So he goes, and I don't know, I think he calls her or whatever. And literally 5 minutes after that, she like posts a tweet and she says, have you ever been dumped by a man that you didn't even date? And I'm just like, this man went and dumped Pink. And Pink was not even taking this whole thing seriously, you know? That was quite funny, to be quite honest. Anyway, we're not there. Anyway, time goes. I know now it's me and who? And the real girlfriend. And I'm the clown here because I'm the one that knows. So now things are like, since we live far apart, we live like an hour apart, there'd be moments where he doesn't answer the phone calls. And if he doesn't answer, he'd send a text and say, hey, I'm with the other girlfriend. That's what he would say. Literally, guys, that's what he would say. He would be like, I am with the other girlfriend. I don't know if that was like a ploy to make me feel better that, okay, we are both girlfriends, you know, like, and it did make me kind of feel better. But at the same time, I was like, nah, man, this ain't shit. This is shit. To be quite honest, I've never been someone who takes things lying down in terms of relationships. I'm someone, that's why maybe like I'm not in like a serious committed relationship, because I'm not someone who takes shit. And I feel like I would be very far if I was someone who forgives easily. I'm someone that's like, I always look at things and I'm like, nah, that's ain't for me. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Anyway, this goes on. And at the same time, like, I did like him, you know, and because I liked him, this is when I started being toxic. Like, yo guys, I won't even like sugarcoat this part. I started being like really toxic. So my motto is, if you're in a relationship with someone and you still love them, like for instance, if I'm in a relationship with someone and they start cheating, if I still like them, me finding them in bed with someone won't automatically make me stop loving them immediately. Yes, I might recognize that what they did is wrong, but that does not erase my love for them, because, child, your life was normal until you found this person. Now you're going to just switch off the love plug like that. I'm someone who just like, let me forgive you, but while I forgive you, let me just learn to live without you. You get that? So now I was starting to live without him. I'm doing my live without you shit now, you know. I'm not calling all the time. He's the one calling. Whenever I'm not calling, he sees that I'm tweeting, so he knows that, okay, I'm on my phone. Whenever I'm not responding to his text, he sees that, okay, she's on her phone because she's on Twitter, she's tweeting. Why is she not responding to me? I was like really, really toxic, and I was liking guys' pictures. I was flirting with men on Twitter. I was like living a very single life, and while he was like trying to make things work, like he really, really tried, until one day he's like, I feel like I am in a relationship and you are not in a relationship with me. Like, that's what he said. He's like, I feel like I'm in a relationship with you and you're already tapped out. And he was right. I'm already like tapped out, but at the same time I can't dump, because if I dump someone, I'm going to have like a dumper's remorse, you know, dumper's guilt. It's called dumper's guilt or dumper's remorse. Dumper's guilt, you know, where you feel like, oh my shit, I made a bad decision on all of that. So anyway, I did not dump him. I knew that because in a way I'm the other girlfriend and she's the other girlfriend. But meanwhile, boy apparently is not handling his shit properly with his girlfriend, because this is where I found this out. So we are together now. He's at my place, sleeping over, and it's 1 a.m. He gets a phone call, right? Mind you, his girlfriend lives in Joburg. He lives in Stanger. I live in Durban. So I'm much closer to him than he is with the girlfriend. So he gets a phone call at 1 a.m., picks it up, and he talks. That's what he's saying. Yeah, okay. Right, okay, good night. That's all he was saying, boo. And in the morning when he wakes up, he's in a really, really foul mood. Like, he's not saying much, and I'm like, I'm also on some, okay, because even me, myself, I'm tapped out, boo. Like, he could see it. He could see that I'm tapped out myself. So we get ready. I was going to work and he was going to go. So he decided that weekend, to leave on a Monday instead of a Sunday, right? So he drives me to work. Okay, we go to work, drops me off at work, and then he heads home. The mood is a little bit somber in the car, And I asked him, what the phone call you got, who was it? And he's like, it's beautiful. I'm like, oh, okay. So what was it about? He's like, no, she was asking me who Nana is. So on the flip side, when he's with beautiful, he's now messing up. Remember now, I feel like honestly think about it, he really, really liked me, but also he had a girl that he had been with for a long time. So he can't really like sacrifice that for this. People do get that, like, oh shit, as much as I met her and she's nice and all of that, she's also like new. I can't really bank on her. I've got this girl that's been with me for this time, this long. She's been holding it down for me, all of that. She's my rock, she's my all of that. So he can't really leave her, which I 100% get. So now I think that's where the things started getting a little bit weird, because now whenever he's with her, he can't really now stay away from, because I promise you I was not a bother. Like, if he's with his person, I never did anything like that. I wasn't like trying to call, trying to text. I fell back, but I think he could not hide that he's with someone else, because also I think he actually did like me. Yo, so beautiful. We found out so when he got a call at night, he's like, So he's like, she was asking me about you, and she was saying that the story goes on. I can't remember what exactly he said. Like, he's like, she was asking me about you. Yeah, that's what he said. He said she was asking me about you. I'm like, oh, okay. He drops me off at work. He goes to Stanger, and yeah, that day, it was a Monday, remember? Also remember that I fell back a long time ago, and he could see that, I fell back. So he sends me this text, long ass paragraph, bro. He sends me this long ass paragraph. He's like, bro, I think this is unfair on you. I can't continue with this relationship because I know I'm not going to leave. I'm beautiful for you. I do love you. It's just that, he explains, this is new, but and I know that I won't be able to choose between the two of you. But if I had to choose, no, he didn't say I won't be able to choose. If I have to choose, I choose beautiful. I've been with her longer, He says all of that. And I'm like, oh, cool, sharp. I did not even fight it. I was like, cool vibes. And he was like, I know that you want to leave the relationship anyway. It's been in my face for a few months, because we dated for like 5 months. 1 month, I was completely unaware of me being a side chick. The 2 months, and then the 4 months after that, I knew that I was a side chick. And it's like, I knew that you fell back a long time ago. Like, you were done with me a long time ago, but I've been trying to keep things going with you. But because I know that you've wanted to leave, I think I'm going to go with I went with beautiful. And I'm like, sharp. I did not fight him. I did not even have the strength. I was like, Thank God. Because personally, I don't like dumper's guilt. You know what dumper's guilt is weird? When you dump someone, you feel like when you look at their social media and you look at them living their lives, you're like, yeah, shit, he's making it, hey? He's happy without me, or she's happy without me. Meanwhile, no, they're not. It's just that you have guilt that you dumped this person, basically. But anyway, me being me, because I had already fell back a long time ago, that same night I had a date. I had a date that flew from Joburg to come see me in Mhlanga. We were on a date together, and I got dumped at 5 p.m. By 7 p.m. I was on a date. I was at a date at Oyster Box. We were like,
it is what it is. It is what it is.
On and upwards, you know. So, but yeah, but that guy, like, he's one of the relationships that I'm like, that was good. That was really good. Had it not been for the fact that he had a girlfriend and I didn't fall back a little bit, it would have been good. It would have been really, 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 really good. But yeah, that's it. So I got played by a Pedi guy. Guys, this is a man that is South African. I'm South African, but we never spoke a lick of Zulu to each other. He never spoke a lick of Pedi to me. You know? I felt like I was dating like a foreigner, to be quite honest. You know, I was doomed, to be quite honest, honestly. Like, because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, because we need Chona we English. Awa. Anyway, and bomma. Okay, he didn't have a mom, but like bomma. Is it bomma? Oh, but I went 1, 2, 3. It's bomma. Every single sentence there's bomma with Pedi, guys. Wow. No ways. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to my story time, and thank you for watching. If you are new, I hope what you just heard or just listened to is enough to make you subscribe. And if you are an old subscriber, shap moja, like, you stay. I'm joking. If you're an old subscriber, thank you for tuning in and staying until this point. I know maybe it might have been a little bit not interesting, but yeah, anyway, that was my story time for this week. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and I love you, and please check out my next video next week. Bye.